The royal hospital has tried all its best prescriptions, but no cure has been found. However, that Taoist, who has been appointed the royal father-in-law, claims to possess a secret formula from beyond the ocean which can lengthen our Lord's life. Some time ago he went, in fact, to the 10 islets and the 3 isles to gather herbs. After his return and the preparation of all the medications, he still requires the terrible medical supplement of 1,111 hearts of young boys. When the medicine is taken with soup made from boiling these boys' hearts, the king, so the Taoist claims, will live to 1,000 years without aging. Those little boys you saw in the geese coops are the selected ones, who are being fed and nurtured before they are slaughtered. Fearing the law of the king, the parents dare not even weep. They can only express their outrage by nicknaming this place the Young Master's City. When you go to court tomorrow, please confine your business to certifying your travel rescript. You mustn't mention this matter at all." He ended his speech and immediately withdrew. Our elder was so horrified by what he heard that his bones weakened and his tendons turned numb. Unable to restrain the tears rolling down his cheeks, he blurted out, "Ah, befuddled king! So you grew ill on account of your incontinence and debauchery. But how could you take the lives of so many innocent boys? Oh misery! Oh misery! This pain kills me." For this we have a testimonial poem that says, "One foolish tyrant who misses the truth has harmed himself with the pleasure he craves. He seeks long life by taking lives of boys. He kills the plebs to lighten heaven's scourge. Steadfast in compassion the monk remains. Unheard of horror the master reveals, as he sighs and sheds tears in the lamplight. Buddha's disciple is overcome by pain. Drawing near to Tripitaka, 8 rules said, 'Master, what's the matter with you? You're always picking up someone's coffin and crying over it in your own house. Don't be so sad. Remember the adage. The ruler wants the subject to die, and the subject who does not is disloyal. The father wants the son to perish, and the son who does not is unfilial. He is hurting his own people, but what does that have to do with you? Come, let's shed our robes and sleep. Let's not worry on behalf of the ancients." Still shedding tears, Tripitaka said, "O disciple, you are so hard-hearted. Those of us who have left the family must accumulate merit by multiplying our virtuous acts. Our very first obligation must be the practice of appropriate means. How could this befuddled king indulge in such a lawless act? I have never heard of such nonsense that eating people's hearts can lengthen one's life. How could I not grieve over something like this?" "Please do not grieve just yet, master," said Sha Monk. "Wait till tomorrow when we have our rescript certified. We can boldly discuss the matter with the king, and if he doesn't listen to us, we can also ascertain what kind of person this royal father-in-law is. Perhaps it is a monster spirit, desirous of devouring human hearts, that has devised such a plan. That may well be the case." "Wu Jing is perfectly right," said Pilgrim. "Master, you should sleep now. Let Old Monkey enter court with you tomorrow and scrutinize the royal father-in-law. If he is a man, he may have embarked on the path of heterodoxy, being ignorant of the proper way and thinking that only herbs and medicines will achieve realized immortality. Let Old Monkey disclose to him the essential themes of cultivation by means of one's natural endowments and enlighten him into embracing the truth. If he's a monster or a fiend, I'll arrest him for the king to see, so that he may learn continence and find out how to nourish his own body. I most certainly will not allow the king to take the lives of those boys." When Tripitaka heard these words, he quickly bowed to Pilgrim and said, "O disciple, what you've proposed is most marvelous. Most marvelous. When you see that befuddled king, however, you shouldn't ask about this matter right away. For I fear that the befuddled king, without looking properly into the matter, would immediately find us guilty of listening to false rumors. What would we do then? Old Monkey has his own magic power," said Pilgrim, smiling. "First, I will remove these boys in the geese coops from the city, so that tomorrow he will have no one from whom he can take out the hearts. The officials of the land will undoubtedly report to the throne, and that befuddled king will surely respond by discussing the matter with the royal father-in-law or by asking for more boys to be selected. At that point, we will memorialize to him also. Then he will not blame us." Highly pleased, Tripitaka said again, "How can you make those boys leave the city? If you turn, the virtue of my worthy disciple is great as heaven. You should do this quickly. If you delay, you may be too late." Arousing his spiritual powers, Pilgrim rose at once and gave this instruction to 8 rules and Shamunk. "Sit here with master, and let me act. When you see a gust of cold wind blowing, you'll know that the boys are leaving the city." Whereupon the 3 of them, Tripitaka and his 2 disciples, began chanting, "We submit to the life-saving Buddha of medicine. We submit to the life-saving Buddha of medicine." Once our great sage had gone out the door, he rose with a whistle to midair, where he made the magic sign and recited the magic words. "Let O purify the Dharma realm." With this he summoned the god of the city, the local spirit, the god of the soil, and various immortal officials, together with the guardians of 5 quarters, the 4 sentinels, the 6 gods of darkness and 6 gods of light, and the guardians of monasteries, who arrived in the air to bow to him, saying, "Great sage, for what urgent business have you summoned us in the thick of night?" "Because we came upon an unruly king in the Bikyu kingdom," replied Pilgrim, "who has listened to some monstrous pervert's tale that the hearts of little boys, when taken as a medical supplement, would grant him longevity. My master is so disturbed that he has resolved to save lives and exterminate the fiend. That is why Old Monkey has asked each one of you to come here. I want you to use your magic powers and move all these boys, including the geese coops, out of the city. Take them into a mountain valley, or deep into a forest, and supply them with fruit to eat so that they won't starve. You must also provide them with secret protection and prevent them from crying or being frightened. When I have eliminated the perversity and restored the king to the proper rule of his state, you may then return the boys just as we are about to leave." When the various gods heard this command, each of them exercised his magic power as they dropped down from the clouds. The city immediately was filled with churning cold wind and spreading fog. The cold wind darkened a sky full of stars. The fog spreading bedimmed the radiant moon. At the very first, they drifted and floated down. But thereafter, they roared and rumbled through, drifting and floating down. They sought to save the boys from every house, roaring and rumbling through. They found the geese coops to help flesh and blood. People stayed home for the invading chill, and piercing cold turned garments iron hard. Parents fretted in vain, and kinfolk were aggrieved, as cold wind churned the earth, to remove the boys in coops. This night they may be lonely. By dawn they will all be pleased. We have also a poem as a testimonial, which says, "Since mercy e'er abounds in Buddha's gate, goodness perfected is what's called the great. All saints and sages must virtue increase. The sum of Triratna and 5 laws is peace. Had not a king at Bikyu state gone bad, 1,000 youngsters' fate would still be sad. When Pilgrim saves them for his master's sake, merit above salvation he will make." It was about the hour of the 3rd watch during that night when the various deities transported those geese coops to be hidden at another place. Lowering his auspicious luminosity, Pilgrim went to the courtyard of the post house, where he could hear his 3 companions still chanting, "We submit to the life-saving Buddha of medicine." In great delight, he drew near and called out, "Master, I've returned. What do you think of the cold wind?" "That was some cold wind," replied 8 rules. "But what about rescuing the boys?" asked Tripitaka. "They have already been taken out one by one," replied Pilgrim, "and will be escorted back to the city by the time we're ready to leave." Tripitaka thanked him again and again before retiring. By dawn, Tripitaka began to dress the moment he awoke, saying, "Wukong, I want to attend the morning court, so that our travel rescript may be certified." "Master," said Pilgrim, "if you go by yourself, I fear that you may not be able to accomplish much. Let Old Monkey go with you to ascertain whether the kingdom is governed by rectitude or perversity. But you usually refuse to perform the proper ceremony when you greet a king," said Tripitaka. "And I fear he may be offended." "I won't show myself," said Pilgrim. "I'll follow you in secret, and I can protect you at the same time." Highly pleased, Tripitaka instructed 8 rules and Sha Monk to watch the luggage and the horse, and then departed. When the station master saw them off, he noticed that the attire of the elder was quite different from that of the day before. He wore a brocade cassock lined with strange treasures. A gold-tipped Varocana hat topped his head. His hands held up a 9-ringed priestly staff. His chest enclosed one wondrous, godly spark. The travel rescript he had on himself, packed in a silk purse placed inside the wrap. He walked like an arhat come down to earth, with a genuine, living Buddha's face. After greeting Tripitaka, the station master whispered in his ear and told him to mind his own business.